Hello and welcome everyone. I am so excited. This is my first live podcast. And if you're watching this, you're joining me live on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook. Take a moment and drop a hi in the comments wherever you're watching from. I would love to know where you are watching this from and who is here. Today is a special day for me. I completed 19 years as a coach, 19 years of conversation, 19 years of understanding people beyond what they say, and 19 years of witnessing transformation from the inside out. And in all these years, one question keeps coming back again and again, and that is, what is my purpose? What is the purpose of my life? And it's not just for someone starting out. Even for the people who are successful, experienced, and doing well in life. So, today we are going to talk about purpose not as a fancy idea. We are going to understand it in a way that actually makes sense in your life. So, stay with me. This might change how you've been looking at your journey. And because what I have seen is uh, people don't struggle because they don't have a purpose. They struggle because they have been taught to look for it instead of building it inside. Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked around at your life and from the outside, everything seems fine? Maybe you have the job, the family, the responsibilities, the routine. People look at you and think, wow, you have everything together. But inside, there is a silent voice that keeps whispering, is this really it is? Is this all life is supposed to be? And why do I feel like something is missing even when everything looks okay? If you have ever felt that, I would like to tell you that you are not alone. Because one of the biggest silent struggles of adulthood is you can build entire life that looks like successful on paper and still feel deeply disconnected inside. And that feeling, that emptiness, that confusion, it is not because you are ungrateful. It is not because you are weak. It is not because you are thinking too much. It is often because your soul is asking for more. Not more money, not more validation, not more achievement, more meaning. See, something along the way, most of us were taught how to survive, but not how to live. We were taught study hard, get good grades, build a career, earn well, settle down, buy the house, raise the family. And while none of this is wrong, nobody stopped us to ask what kind of life would actually make you feel alive inside. Nobody taught us to ask, who am I beneath all the expectations that we have? So we spend years, sometimes decades, climbing ladders we never consciously chose. And one day we wake up exhausted, burnt out, emotionally numb, and wondering, why do I feel so empty after doing everything right? I remember working with someone once, a very successful businesswoman. exporter, and highly respected. From outside, anyone, anyone would say she had made it. But when she came to me, she was actually sinking. Financial stress, mental chaos, emotional overwhelm. And I remember in one of our session, I asked her to do something very simple. I said, just close your eyes and imagine. Imagine your life, all the problems that are being solved. Imagine that what would peace feel like, and imagine what abundance would feel like inside. And you know what she said? She looked at me and replied, I can't imagine what has happened. And that sentence stayed with me because this woman had built business from scratch, which means at one point she had imagined success before there was nothing. It never existed, and she imagined that there will be a business. But when I was telling her to do this again today, she had a difficulty. She had believed in something before it became real. You know, pain, fear, and pressure had disconnected her from her own vision. And that's what happened to so many people. Life hits you so hard, and slowly you stop dreaming. You stop imagining. You stop believing. You stop asking for more. And instead of living intentionally, you start living reactively. You wake up every day just trying to get through it, just surviving, just managing, just existing. But let me tell you, you were not born merely to survive life. You were born to create meaning from it. And purpose is not about some grand title. It is not it is not about becoming famous, not about having millions of followers. It is not about doing an extraordinary thing. Purpose is much deeper than that. Purpose is when your life begins to feel aligned with who you truly are. And the reason most people never find that is because they keep searching for the purpose externally. They think maybe, maybe when I change the job, maybe when I earn more, maybe when I meet the right person, or maybe just when life gets a little easier. But none of this is correct. Purpose does not begin outside of you. Purpose begins the moment you become honest with yourself, honest about what you fulfills you, honest about what drains you, honest about what no longer aligns, and honest about the life you are pretending to enjoy. Because many people are not lost, they are just disconnected from themselves. They have spent so much time becoming who the world needed them to be, and they forget who they are. And that's why awareness is important. Because before you know your purpose, you have to know yourself. And that requires courage. Because self-awareness is comfortable. It's it is actually very uncomfortable. It means of facing those truths. Maybe the career I built is not what actually I want. Maybe the life I created does not reflect my real values. Maybe I have been seeking approval more than fulfillment. Maybe I have outgrown the version of myself I have been holding on to. That awareness can shake your entire identity, but it is also where transformation begins. Because once awareness comes, you move into acceptance. And acceptance is not passive, it is power. It is the moment you stop saying, why did this happen to me? And say, why did this happen for me? Why I am behind? And instead start saying, this is where I am. And then comes the part most people avoid, and that is taking action. Let me be very honest. Everybody wants clarity, but very few are willing to do what clarity requires. They want purpose, they handed the purpose handed them before they move. But clarity doesn't come from movement, clarity comes from movement. You discover yourself by trying, by failing, by learning, by showing up, by doing the work, by taking messy, imperfect actions. You cannot think your way into purpose sitting on a couch and overanalyzing your life. At some point, you have to move. You have to trust the next step before you see the whole path. And eventually, if you keep doing that, something beautifully happens. You begin to align. Your decisions start feeling lighter. Your energy starts feeling clearer. Your confidence starts returning because now you are no longer building life based on pressure. You are building on based on trust and truth. And when that happens, you rise, you ascend, you become the version of yourself that younger one once needed and imagined and dreamed of. And the most beautiful part, is when you heal, when you grow, when you rise, you naturally begin helping others to do the same. That's when purpose becomes big, much bigger than personal success. It becomes an impact because your story, your struggle, your healing, your lessons, they were not just for you. They were never just for you. They were meant to become wisdom for someone else. So if you're right now here listening to this and feeling lost, and if you are not in that space and feeling really confused, where you know something needs to be changed, but you don't know what, let me remind you, you do not need to have your whole purpose figured out today. You don't need all the answers. You just need the courage to stop deceiving yourself, to stop settling, to stop shrinking, and stop convincing yourself this is just how life is. Because one day you will look back at your life and the question will not be how much money did I earn, how much busy I was, how many people approved of me. The real question will be, did I truly live my life? Did I become who I'm capable of becoming? Did I use my potential? And did I honor the life I was given? Because life is not just meant for survival, it is meant to be lived consciously. And your purpose? It is not waiting somewhere far away, it is waiting in your next brave decision, your next honest conversation, your next aligned action, your next moment of choosing love. So start here and trust that purpose reveals itself to those who are willing to become. If this moves something inside you, and if you know deep down you are meant for more than just surviving, then maybe this is your signs to stop waiting, because the life you want, the version of you dream of becoming, it begins the moment you decide. Enough of autopilot, enough of excuses, and enough of delay. Your next level is waiting for you, but only if you're willing to step into it. And as we close this conversation, I want to leave you with this. Your purpose is hiding somewhere, waiting for you to discover it one day. It is unfolding through your awareness, through your decisions, and your willingness to grow. You don't need everything figured out. You just need stop ignoring what you already feel within, and because start taking some action, because that will bring more clarity. So ask yourself, am I waiting for clarity or I'm ready to create it? And if something in today's conversation resonated with you, don't just leave it as a thought. Drop a comment, share your biggest takeaway, or simply say you are ready. I will personally message you back. And if you are someone who wants to go deeper, to truly understand your own patterns, your emotions, and how to align with your next level, let's connect. This could be a starting point. Thank you so much for being here and for choosing yourself. Stay healthy, stay mindful, and keep shining. Thank you.